Day 4. Power's been out since Tuesday. Your phone is dead. The kitchen tap coughed something brown this morning, then quit entirely. You drove to the grocery store an hour ago, and the parking lot looked like the aftermath of a riot. Shopping carts flipped sideways, broken glass crunching under your tires. Inside, the shelves were stripped down to the price tags. No bread, no rice, no canned anything. Not even that weird anchovy paste nobody ever buys. Gone. All of it. You're standing in your kitchen now, looking at half a box of stale crackers, 2 cans of chickpeas you bought in 2024 for a recipe you never made, and a bottle of hot sauce. That's dinner. That's dinner for your entire family. And here's what cuts the deepest. You had time. Months of it. Maybe years. And the thing that separates you from the family 3 blocks over who's sitting down to warm rice and beans right now? It wasn't money. It wasn't connections. It wasn't some classified government knowledge. It was about $80 and one boring Saturday afternoon. There's a line that gets thrown around in prepper circles. Civilization is 9 meals from anarchy. 9 meals. That's 3 days. After that, people stop being polite. After that, the rules you grew up with dissolve like sugar in hot water. The survival food industry knows this, which is why they sell you a 30-day freeze-dried pallet for $4,000 in tactical packaging with a bald eagle on the label. What they don't tell you is that the most calorie-dense, longest-lasting, most nutritionally sound survival foods on Earth are sitting in the back aisle of your grocery store right now. No branding, no marketing, just centuries of keeping entire civilizations alive. That's what we're building today, a 14-day emergency food supply that fits in a closet, costs less than a Friday night out, and keeps your household fed while your neighborhood discovers what real hunger actually tastes like. And stay with me, because near the end, I'm going to cover the one category almost every prepper completely forgets to stock. It has 0 calories. It might be the most important shelf in your entire supply. All right, first things first. The calorie floor. Before you buy a single can, burn one number into your head. 2,000. That's your rough daily calorie target per adult. Multiply by 14 days. That's 28,000 calories per person. A family of 4 needs 112,000 calories to get through 2 weeks. Sounds massive. It's not. Not when you know what to stack. A 20-pound bag of white rice costs about $12. That single bag holds over 30,000 calories, one person's entire 14-day calorie need. $12. Let that sit for a second. Now, somebody's already typing in the comments, but brown rice is healthier. Sure, in normal life, brown rice has oils that go rancid within 6 months. White rice, sealed with an oxygen absorber, lasts 25 to 30 years. This isn't a wellness podcast. This is survival math. White rice wins. Move on. Dried beans. A 1-pound bag runs about $1.50, packs roughly 1,500 calories, and here's the part the nutrition textbooks bury in the footnotes. Rice and beans together form a complete protein, every essential amino acid your body needs. Mexicans figured it out. Indians figured it out with lentils. The Japanese with soybeans. Billions of people across centuries. Same answer. It works. Rolled oats, the big canister, $3, about 6,000 calories. Barely needs cooking. Soak them overnight in cold water if fuel is scarce. Breakfast, handled. Dried pasta, $1 a box, 1,600 calories, stores for years. Stack these 4 and you've built a calorie floor under your family's feet for about $30. Nobody's filming that for Instagram, but it'll keep you standing. The protein anchors. Rice and beans cover your base amino acids, but you need more punch. Canned meats, tuna, chicken, and yes, Spam. I know, but a single can of Spam holds 1,080 calories and enough sodium to preserve itself for 5+ years on a shelf. In a grid-down scenario, Spam stops being a punchline and starts being a lifeline. Canned chicken and tuna run about 200 to 250 calories per can, packed with protein, and they're ready to eat straight from the tin. No heating required. When fuel becomes a commodity, Cold-ready food isn't a compromise, it's a strategy. Peanut butter, 1 jar, around 2,600 calories. Protein, fat, no refrigeration, and your kids will actually eat it without a war. Grab 3 jars. That's nearly 8,000 calories for under $10. The vitamin net. Now here's where most people mess up their first serious food stash. They pile up calories and completely forget micronutrients. 2 weeks without vitamin C and you bruise like a rotten peach. A month and your gums bleed. That's scurvy, and it's not some 18th century sailor's problem. It's what happens to anyone running on white rice and Spam for a month with nothing else. Canned vegetables, canned fruit. Not pretty, not fresh, but the canning process locks in most vitamins at the time of sealing. Green beans, corn, mixed vegetables, peaches in syrup. 10 cans, a few bucks each. Your body will quietly thank you in week 2 when everyone else is falling apart in ways they can't explain. And a bottle of multivitamins, $5, 90 days of micronutrient insurance. Throw it in. This isn't optional. The fat bank. Your body runs on fat for sustained energy. Without it, you crash. Cooking oil, any kind, vegetable, canola, olive, clocks in at about 240 calories per tablespoon. A single bottle is a calorie bomb that also lets you actually cook food that doesn't taste like punishment. Ghee lasts even longer than regular butter and needs 0 refrigeration. Between the oil, peanut butter, and Spam, your fat macros are covered. Not pretty, functional. Quick reality check. Everything I've listed so far? You could build the whole thing on a single grocery run for under $100. No specialty stores, no survival websites, no subscriptions, just a cart and a list. And if you're watching this thinking, I should actually do this, yeah, you should. Drop a comment and tell me what you've already got stocked or what you're starting with. I'm genuinely curious how prepared this audience actually is because I think it's more than most people assume. Now, remember that shelf I mentioned at the beginning? The one with 0 calories that almost nobody builds? The morale cabinet. This is the part that separates people who studied survival from people who've actually been through it. I've talked to families who weathered extended blackouts, hurricanes, real food shortages, weeks of it. Know what they said they missed most? It wasn't steak, it wasn't fresh bread, it was coffee, sugar, a piece of chocolate, the small, stupid comforts that make a bad day survivable. When the stress is grinding your household down, when your kids are scared and the adults are snapping at each other over nothing, a cup of instant coffee changes the temperature in the room. A bar of chocolate stops an argument. A mug of hot cocoa makes a 9-year-old smile for the first time in 4 days. There's a phrase from military logistics. Amateurs talk weapons, professionals talk supply lines. I'd add a layer. Survivors talk morale. You can stack enough calories for a month, but if your family spirit cracks on day 5, those calories sit there, untouched. Stock instant coffee, tea bags, sugar, honey, which by the way literally never expires. Archaeologists pulled 3,000-year-old honey out of Egyptian tombs. Still edible, still sweet. Nature's middle finger to decay. Buy a jar, add hot sauce, bouillon cubes, seasoning packets. These cost pennies and they turn bland survival rice into something that actually feels like a meal. Morale isn't a luxury, it's infrastructure. And speaking of infrastructure that keeps you alive, if any of this is landing, hit subscribe. The algorithm doesn't exactly promote videos about emergency food storage. Shocking, I know. But the next one might cover the thing you didn't know you needed, and you won't see it unless you're in. The storage protocol. You've got the food, now don't let it rot because you stored it like an afterthought. 5 enemies: moisture, heat, light, oxygen, rodents. Beat those 5 and your pantry outlasts most institutions. Rice and beans go into food-grade 5-gallon buckets with a Gamma Seal lid. Drop in an oxygen absorber, those little packets that cost maybe 50 cents each, and seal it. That rice is now viable for decades. Not years, decades. Canned goods go on a shelf, oldest in front, newest in back. Write the purchase date on every can with a Sharpie. Eat the oldest, replace what you eat. This is rotation, and it means your emergency supply never actually expires because it's woven into your normal eating. You're not hoarding, you're cycling. Store it all somewhere cool, dark, and dry. A closet, a basement shelf, under a bed. Doesn't matter where, as long as it's away from direct sunlight and moisture. And here's a trick I almost never see anyone do. Photograph your entire supply with dates visible, save it to a USB drive, and toss that drive in your go bag. If you ever evacuate in a hurry, you know exactly what you left behind and what you need to rebuild. Tiny habit, enormous advantage. The water shadow. Can't talk about 14 days of food without confronting the thing that'll kill you 3 times faster. Water. 1 gallon per person per day, half for drinking, half for cooking and basic hygiene. 14 days, 1 person, 14 gallons. Family of 4, 56 gallons. A few cases of bottled water and a couple of 7-gallon jugs handle it. And keep water purification tablets or a basic filter as your backup layer. Dehydration kills in 3 days. Hunger takes 3 weeks. Respect the math. Now here's why this whole system holds together, and it's almost elegant in how simple it is. Your body runs on 3 macronutrients. Carbohydrates for quick energy, that's your rice, oats, pasta. Protein for repair and immune function, that's your beans, canned meats, peanut butter. Fat for sustained energy and vitamin absorption, that's your oils and that glorious jar of Spam grease. Together, they cover every metabolic pathway your biology needs to keep functioning. Canned produce fills the micronutrient gaps. The morale shelf handles the psychological architecture that pure calorie math will never account for. This isn't a random pile of cans, it's a system. Cheap, boring, unglamorous, and ruthlessly effective. Picture it again. Day 4. Power's out, shelves empty, phone dead. But this time, you walk to the hallway closet. 20-pound bag of rice, buckets of beans, canned chicken, oats, peanut butter, cooking oil, instant coffee, spices. 14 days of food, organized, rotated, ready. You fill a pot. You light the camp stove. Rice and beans with garlic powder and hot sauce. It's not a restaurant plate, but your family is sitting around the table, fed, calm, together. The time to build a pantry is when the shelves are full and nobody's panicking. That window doesn't announce when it's closing. Everybody's got a theory about what breaks first. Power grid, supply chains, banking system. I don't pretend to know which domino tips next, but I know this much. The people who filled a closet on a quiet Saturday are the ones still eating on a desperate Tuesday. And the ones who didn't will wish they had, with every empty shelf they pass. If someone in your life needs to hear this, send it. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Because grocery stores don't send warning letters before they go empty.